Friends, with this, I want to call a lady who had a dream and went on with a passion to try and fructify that dream. Mrs. Pawan Kaur Madan, Nicky to all of us. Nicky, please, can we have you on stage to share your dream? Nicky, can I see you? All right. Come on.
To everybody, thank you so very much for coming and making this evening for us. Thank you for all the efforts you have taken to come here. Before I start and say anything about Sai Aasra, I have a request with each and every one of you here, please. Could everybody for 2 minutes just close their eyes? Please close your eyes, everybody, and imagine that we are at India Habitat Center right now, having a party, good food, good crowd, everything very nice, life is beautiful, and suddenly we go out and there just might be an accident. Please close your eyes and envision that scene. How would you feel? And then post-accident, you wake up in a hospital bed and you can't move, and everything that was so automatic earlier has now become an impossible dream. This is something that the likes of stalwarts like Major Ahluwalia has written in his book. After him, Shivani has written, many others have written. Shivjit has written in his book, and they describe that scene. And I would recommend to everybody to read these books, because this is not something that just happens to anybody. It can happen to us as well. If you look at yourself in that hospital bed, not knowing where life is going to go from here, your body does not obey your command. You want to move, you will it to move, it refuses to budge. You want to do things, you want to go to the toilet, you find it completely indignifying that somebody has to do that for you, but you can't. In fact, there's pretty much nothing that you can do with the body. And that is an alien body to you. What do you think that anybody at that point in time would need? Is there anybody who can tell me, what do you think that you would need? Can we have a mic if anybody can say? At that point in time, what would that person need? In our Indian society, we have the relatives coming and they're going to say, hi, so sad, बहुत बुरा हुआ, ऐसे नहीं होना था, करम आगे आ गए, पता नहीं क्यों रब ने मेरे नाल ही कीता, मेरी family नाल, all of that. Is that what the patient needs at that time? No. Since nobody is saying, I'll say it. I think if that happened to me or to somebody of my own, I think they would need somebody to say, okay, son, doesn't matter. Life doesn't end here. Let's learn to live it differently. Somebody who can tell you, all right, it's a challenge, it's a tragedy, but we can triumph over the tragedy. This, my friends, is what Sai Aasra is all about. We want to give love. We want to give hope. We know of a fantastic spinal community, the SCI fraternity as it's called, who have done amazing things. There are amazing heroes in this audience, and many who have not made it here. But they are all over the country, in fact, all over the world. We are extremely proud and extremely honored that, how would I address him? He is someone so awesome. Major Ahluwalia is here amongst our midst. God bless this man. Every spinal cord injury in India knows who's Major HPS Ahluwalia. How many blessings this man has got? Unbelievable. How many lives have been tortured and come to his place and learned to relive life again. We can never, never do what Major Ahluwalia has done. But that brings us to another question. Why did he do it? All these people you see here, Mr. Shivjit Raghav, you see Manoj Davar, there are wonderful people who are part of spinal fraternity of Sai Aasra who are not here. There is a Vaidyanathan, lovingly called Vaidi by all of us. He's in Chennai. A man who's working tirelessly day in and day out, sleeps very little, and just giving back to society. Always toiling for others. And why are these people doing it? Are they mad or what? They have problems. They have major problems. Major Ahluwalia had it. He is a man who climbed the Mount Everest. He had done enough for himself before the injury. He was a hero in any case. The world knew him. The world looked up to him. Why the hell did he have to make his life such a major challenge after his injury? Because he understood. He understood and he cared. He went to Stoke Mandeville, got his rehab, came back a tougher man, but he didn't stop there. He spread that strength that he had. And we salute the man and his beautiful wife. Thank you, sir, for what you've done to Sai Aasra, to the Spinal Fraternity of India. Really amazing, amazing hero. But having said that, it's not just about one Major Ahluwalia. There are many, many unsung heroes who have done amazing work for the fraternity. One lovely lady is right here in front of you. And there are many all around. A very dear friend of mine, Nitin Goyal, who is also in the Sai Aasra team, could not make it. But they are working endlessly, tirelessly for the fraternity. We have the Escape House boys here. We have people in Kashmir, in Bhubaneswar, in Punjab, everywhere. But they all have spinal cord injury. And they understand the trauma of spinal cord injury. So they're going all out, taking out their time, helping anybody whom they have heard has had an accident. Then they will refer them either to Major ISIC or to CMC, Vellore, somewhere, and do what they can for that person. Now comes another question in my life which has come my way very often. Everybody asks me, why you? Why are you doing it? You're not a doctor. You don't have spinal cord injury. Your children are not injured. Why are you doing it? And my answer is a counter question. Why not I? Why not I? How much pain does a man have to go through before he can understand another man's pain? I'm not a doctor. I'm not even a social worker. I'm not even a physiotherapist or someone special. But I'm a woman. I'm a mother. I understand what love and care is about. I have been blessed by God with fantastic health, with life, with time. In fact, I'm the most Vela person on the Sai Aasra group. So that's why I can do whatever I'm doing. But, so I understand that there's no substitute for love. And that's what Sai Aasra is about. It's just about loving, just about empowering. And I think that if this happened to my son, what would I do for him? And anybody out there is also our own. We don't live in separateness. We live as one, and we toil as one, and we got to love as one. And that's my vision and that's my dream. But I owe a friend of mine a lot for this. There was a quadriplegic in Amritsar by the name of Manmeet Dub. I was in Amritsar and saw his journey, his struggle. He was a quad who could not do very much for himself. He was completely dependent on his mother. For every glass of water to drink, for everything to eat, he had to be clothed, fed, bathed, everything. So he was totally dependent on her, but she had arthritis, acute arthritis, and was keeping frail health. So he always felt that if something happens to my mother, where do I go? I do not want to be at the mercy of caretakers. So where in this country can I go and live a life of dignity? He searched many Cheshire homes. He searched many places. He searched even old people's homes. But he could not find a single place where he could go. Many friends in the spinal fraternity keep asking me, why a home? Make a rehab center. You empower them, all right, but not a home. And I promise you on this platform that someday Sai Aasra is going to have a full-fledged home along with the rehab center. It is needed. It is really needed. I want to explain to you that what we have here in the crowd, smiling, happy, strong faces, beautiful boys and girls, very strong individuals, they have come a long way. But behind every successful face is a saga of love, of strength and support from the family, from loved ones, and they could make it. They had their inner strength, but they got the love and support from the family, and they could make it. There are many out there who are not so lucky. Believe me, many, many out there who are not so lucky. The life of a paraplegic man and a paraplegic woman is very different. The life of a paraplegic and a quadriplegic is also very different. But a quadriplegic man and a quadriplegic woman is a completely different story. So, when a girl or a woman becomes a quad and she's totally dependent, very often the first thing that happens is the spouse says, bye-bye, I can't handle this. And that's it. Where does she go? Very often, husband to chhod dega, but mothers and fathers never give up. So they go back home. But their stories are very painful. I know I'm on a public platform and maybe I should weigh my words better, but I want to say to all the lovely ladies here, imagine a life where you're completely dependent on somebody. Maybe a son. Maybe you're not lucky to have a woman taking care of you. Month after month you go through your cycles not knowing how this indignity can ever end. When your son or somebody else has to do whatever to clean you and take care of you. It's very difficult. It's very difficult. And that's what Sai Aasra wants to do. Make it a little easier for some. We got to work at it. There are many out there who are dying. There are stories and stories and stories. And if I start recounting the stories of people here on this platform, they will never end till the early morning. But in a nutshell, I want to say that there's a lot of pain, a lot of trauma, a lot of challenges for all those who are not fortunate to have the financial support required or the loving support that is most essential. And that is why Sai Aasra comes in. Our country is a glorious country, it's beautiful, but there's not a single home in this country for people with spinal cord injury. Not a single one. There's one in Pune, Kirki, one in Mohali, but they're only for the defense personnel. For the civilian population, there's nowhere to go. They keep asking for mercy killing. They keep asking God for death to spare them the agony, but it just becomes a long saga of struggle. So at Sai Aasra, we endeavor to bring to them success stories, bring these heroes forward to them, show them a new world, open new possibilities for them, and tell them, all right, tragedy has struck, it's not the end of the world. We can make a new beginning, and we can live differently. and we can make a difference to the world even. We can give back to society even, which is something very few can think of. But I must tell you a very small story of somebody I consider my personal hero. When I went to Kirki in Pune, he was a quad. In fact, he was a tetraplegic in a very, very pathetic condition. Pathetic as in he could not move anything below his neck. He just could not move. And he wrote many, many articles. For 26 years, this man lived in a bed in the Kirki hospital. But he wrote articles. He wrote books. He published articles. And he got many awards from them. He got cash rewards also. And this money he sent for the education of poor children. I had the fortune of spending quality time with this individual. They called him Flying Officer MP Anil Kumar. And as our misfortune has it, he developed blood cancer and passed away. And many people, able-bodied, say, chalo, it relieved him of suffering. कोई भी जाता है कहते चलो अच्छा हुआ suffering खत्म हो गई. But why? Why can't we help them to rise above the suffering? I mean, why can't we just make it a little easier? And when we say we are God-loving people, God-fearing people, when is it that we're going to say, thank you, God? Thank you for all that you've given. And can we lend out a helping hand and help those who are not so lucky? Why is this question even asked to me? Why are you doing it? Why you? You're able-bodied. Why should you do it? Somewhere I think we've got our funders incorrect. It is we who should be doing it. Instead, every NGO, mostly I think, correct me if I'm wrong, in the country which is working for spinal cord injury is being run by people on the wheelchair. What's happened to us? Why the indifference? I don't know. I think we need to look within. We say we love God. I know that if my son or somebody was to come and tell me, okay, Mom, these are my friends, they're coming, please look after them, I would be all out baking cakes, baking goodies, trying to keep my son's friends happy because they're my son's friends. So when God sends His own to us, we have no business to walk away. We got to be there. We got to care. That's as simple as I know. Before I conclude, I want to say, I am overwhelmed by the people who've come here. We did not know how many people will come. People are not interested in charity dinners. They're not interested in this kind of stuff. But you, able-bodied, and the spinal fraternity have come. Y'all are there. You're there to make us feel connected for a cause. And I feel the responsibility. So on this platform, I want to say that while Aasra is always going to be diligently working hard to provide a rehab and a home to persons with SCI, we will do our best to honor the pledge we take here. We will do our best to extend love and empowerment to our own brethren. We will do the best that we can, but we will also keep you connected. We will keep you informed. And next year, we will come back on this platform or some other platform. But we honor the responsibility, and we will be here with as many people as we can get who have been rehabilitated by Aasra or helped in whichever way, and come back and say thank you to you. And we will also be with you all along, telling you of when we start and what we do, so that you feel connected. And whether actively or passively you stay connected with us, we hope and pray that your blessings remain with us. Thank you so very much. That's all for now. Thank you.